morning. If we have not yet met, my name is Charles White, and it really is my pleasure to be the pastor here. Thank you for coming, sharing your Sunday morning with us, sharing your journey of faith with us. Please know that whoever you are, wherever you may be from, whatever beliefs you may have or not, whatever questions and doubts you may have, we appreciate you being with us. You are welcome here. You are safe here. And we thank you for sharing your journey with ours.
Amen.
Amen to that, yes. Let's see, 2 weeks ago, our journey included Jesus' journey into Jerusalem, as told in Mark chapter 11. We call that one Palm Sunday. He came into Jerusalem, scouted the place, and the next day started flipping tables in the temple. That made quite an impression on the locals, to say the least. Last week, we celebrated Easter. We moved into the Gospel of John for the Easter story, a personal favorite of mine, and celebrated Jesus' resurrection. Today, we jump back in time and back to Mark chapter 12, where Jesus will have encounters with two leadership groups of the Jewish faith. More on that later. I'm really excited about it, so I have to bite my tongue. Yes, happy second Sunday of Easter. We are in the Easter season. That's the big goldish slice of pie toward the bottom. All right, so Christmas. The season of Advent leads up to Christmas Day. Easter Day starts the season of Easter. 6 years ago, I did not know about this and did not care. Honest with you. But I find it interesting that one celebration ends a period of time and the other begins a period of time. So we will be celebrating Easter, the resurrected Spirit of God, for the next 8-9 weeks until we get to, I believe it's May 19th, which is Pentecost. More on that in 7 or 8 weeks. Kyle, have I forgotten anything yet? All right, excellent. Kyle, keep me on track. There is a lot of information packed in your Sunday program and insert. We are not going to look at that right now. I'm just letting you know. We will be referring to it today. But there is a lot there. Please take it home, read through it later this week. But for now, let's all take a deep breath and rise in body and spirit for our opening worship songs.
Open the eyes of my heart.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Dave Byers. I'm your worship leader. Thank you so much for worshiping with us. It is wonderful to have all of you here with us in person on the live stream. Please take a moment to fill out one of our registration forms. They're located in the binders at the end of each row. Pass it down the row so everyone can let us know you're here and helps our office record the attendance. Inside those binders, there are some name tags. We invite you to write your name and put name on a name tag and put those on. This helps us all greet one another by name. As you exit through the doors in the back today, our restrooms are off to the left, just down the hall on the left. Immediately following our service this morning, we'll invite all of you to join us for coffee, snacks, and fellowships in the social hall. Join us next Sunday for an all-church meeting in the social hall following the 10 a.m. worship service. We'll have updates from our finance team and trustees regarding our plans to re-roof our sanctuary this summer. Speaking of which, Dwayne Lyon will now come forward to tell us about the new Over and Above capital campaign to raise our new roads.
Good morning. My name is Dwayne Lyon. I'm here today to reinforce what Dave said. We want to invite you all to an all-church meeting next Sunday, the 14th, following this worship service. The meeting will be in the social hall. The purpose of it is to share information with you about a serious problem that we're all facing, and that is our roof is leaking. It served a long life. It's exceeded its warranty, but it's time to replace it in order to protect the integrity of this building. Ron Coldwell will be describing to you our finance campaign plan to raise $105,000. The good news is we're almost halfway there, but we need to make a final push. Dan Buell, Chair of the Board of Trustees, will be available to speak to the group about the details of the contract that we're soon to be signing. Both of them will be available for questions and answers. So we hope to see you there, and I'd like to turn this over to Ray Commode right now.
Good morning, First Church. I'm Ray Commode from our church's very own anti-racism task force, which started by Mark Steinberg and Damon Cromsey in 2020. We're about to launch a new journey with our church community in the honor of Mark. It's called the Food Solutions New England's 21-Day Racial Equity Habit Building Challenge. Yes, that's long. The Anti-Racism Task Force members attended a 3 half-day workshops to prepare to lead the challenge and to register our church as its participant. We're also a sponsor of the 21-Day Challenge, which is easier to say. Each day, starting tomorrow and for the next 21 days, everyone on the church email list will be sent prompts to encourage you to think about racial equity. Hopefully, the Learn section of the prompt will help us all move beyond individual or interpersonal racism, which will help explain or demystify structural and institutional racism, which are sometimes invisible to us. We hope it will inspire you to act on your own or with others to dismantle these systems, to make changes in your world that can build true equity and justice for all. The 21-Day Challenge is inspired by the fact that it does take 21 days to build a habit. It is designed to create dedicated time and space to build more effective social justice habits, to raise your awareness, change your understanding, and shift the way you behave. We encourage you to at least read the Learn section, even if you do nothing else. Don't be afraid to open it and try it. Remember, beyond every fear, there is life. As you move through the materials, don't worry if you don't get to everything. There is a lot. Go at a pace that works for you and choose links that fit with the time you have. Also, access to all the material will be available for months ahead, so you can use it and refer back to it. We will be joining tens of thousands of people who have participated over the last decade. You are part of a movement that continues to grow and evolve. Our hope is that you will be able to spend some time most days on the Learn section, reading, listening, or watching the featured resources. Remember, it's okay not to do everything. You can come back to things later or do what you can. Even bringing some attention to the topic, or at least reading the prompt all the way through, can help to build awareness and movement. We have printed copies of those who don't get emails, or if you want to use it with your small group. There's also a discussion guide, which the office can print for a small group if you are interested. Mary and Sue will be at the doors as you exit if you don't receive emails and need a printed copy. This year's theme, From Me to We, Community and Transformative Change, Once you receive your prompts, you will learn a bit more about definitions of well-being and belonging and why these are important to our church community as goals for racial and other forms of equity work. Thanks again for stepping into the challenge and helping to turn 21 days into a 365-day commitment. Thank you, and God bless your journey, and let's stir our hearts with some more music.
I would invite you to stand with us this morning and sing hymn 277 out of the Red Book. For those of you that read music, this is a new tune. So you might want to read it out of the hymnal instead of up here where there's no music and good words. You can blame me later for this.
All right, I would love to invite all of the kids up. Hi, friend, yeah, come on up. Hello, hello. Amazing, so good to see you this morning. Did you bring us nothing? Hi, friend. Lilo. Hi, Sue. You bring me this? I love that. Bro, I love your sunglasses. Yeah. Pretty sweet, bro. All right, so we're gonna do a throwback thing today. Ready? Just wait. Okay. So let's all close our eyes. Okay. I want you to pretend to answer a phone. How would you hold your hand to answer the phone? Yeah, fingers like this. Ethan, how would you answer the phone? Would you answer it like this? Like you had a cell phone? Or what about how would you take a picture? Would you take a picture like this? Or would you take a picture like this? Do you even know what this is? I brought something else that's a throwback. Actually, Miss Michelle brought this. Have you ever seen one of these before? In a game you saw? You have at school, you've seen one of these before? Yeah? Ian, have you ever seen any of these before? No. Hey, this is like Disney Plus. This is how we used to watch movies back in the day. This was a whole tape. We would put it in, and my house was really fancy, and we had a special machine to rewind these things. So you would take it out of the TV. Yeah, just a second. You would take it out of the TV, you would put it into a special machine, and the special machine would go rewind really fast. Yeah, your turn. You and Willow clean up at home. That's amazing. Gold stars for you. Could you help me rewind my VHS tape? Yeah, you can hold it. So, the reason we're rewinding today, you may hold it as long as we're soft because it's Christmas shots. The reason that we're rewinding today is that last week was Easter. And when we talked about Easter, Jesus died on the cross and then came back to life. Well, the thing is, for the next 6 weeks, we're going to talk more about Jesus' life. And when we talk about Jesus' life, guess what? He's still alive. What? So we're going to rewind in the story. And during Sunday school, we're going to go back into the story to learn more about Jesus when he was alive. Does that make sense? That's totally fine. You don't have to go and have great fun. Yeah. And now she's sitting behind me. I know. She wants to crawl around with us. It's totally fine. All right. Are we ready to go learn some things in Sunday school? Yeah, sweetie. Let's go calmly and quietly out the middle doors in the back.
All right, just so I don't feel too old, raise your hand if you would recognize an 8-track cassette tape. Yeah, thank you. We're old. It's interesting what generations do and do not recognize. Yeah. All right. We have a lot today, and I'm really excited about it. This is good stuff because you remember when we did the story of Jesus and the fig tree a couple of weeks ago? And it turns out the story of the fig tree wasn't about the fig tree. Today it's a story of taxes. It's not really about taxes. All right, so in today's first story, Jesus asked the Pharisees, right, so that's one group of people, for a denarius. That's a coin. It's a silver coin. It wasn't always pure silver. Depending on how much silver was around and how much the Roman government wanted to hoard their wealth, they'd mix in other metals over time. So if you're a coin collector, it's one way of figuring out at what point in time the coin was minted. I have learned all sorts of stuff this week about Roman coins and Pharisees and Sadducees. All right, so that's a denarius, which clearly has the emperor's face and name on it, which is the emperor's way of reminding you every time you pick one up, hey, I'm in charge. I own everything. You do nothing without me. It's a power play. Huh. Do any countries ever still do that? I wonder. All right, in today's second story, so that's the first story. Second story, Jesus is confronted by Sadducees, a different religious leadership group. Both groups are trying to get rid of Jesus. And Jesus publicly insults both of them. Naturally. After flipping the tables. Like, it's a rough week for Jesus and public relations. All right. The Pharisees and Sadducees were members of the Sanhedrin. That is a broader leadership group of the Jewish faith at that time. All right, the Sanhedrin is comparable to, think of our Congressional Senate or House of Representatives. They're made up of primarily two parties of people. Both parties want what they think is best for America. Both parties have very different ideas about how to get there. And both parties, especially these days, are more than happy to fight with each other and say, basically, I'm right and a genius, you're wrong and an idiot, and then somehow try to make progress. Same deal with the Pharisees and Sadducees. Like, I'm telling you all this so you can kind of get the feel of the moment. They were both Jewish. They both deeply cared about Judaism. And they had some major disagreements with each other. All right. Oh, but like Congress. So do we ever get along about anything? Yes. When we have a common enemy. So a dramatic example. Pearl Harbor or 9/11. Somebody from outside came in, harmed us, and suddenly two differing groups of patriotic Americans who would fight tooth and nail said, all right, we'll put our fighting aside to deal with our common enemy. Jesus is their common enemy. And he's got to go. All right, next slide. Do we have? Yes, sweet. Put a lot of work into this, and I realize it's hard to see. So here's the gist. The difference between Pharisees and Sadducees. Oh, I could do a whole class on this one. This was fun. All right, let's get to the bottom, what's really important. Pharisees on the left. They survived and became the continuation of the Jewish tradition. So the ways Jews around the world worship today, in synagogues, wherever they may be located, thank you, Pharisees, for figuring out that system. Today's rabbis trace back to the Pharisees. The Sadducees were very politically connected. They were part of the elite, socially, politically, economically. I'm going to do a costume change during the reading to emphasize this. So Pharisees were common middle-class folk, Sadducees, the elite, well-connected with the politicians. Pharisees connected with the people. So in 70 AD, there was a Jewish uprising saying, hey, Rome, we don't like the way you're treating us. We're fighting back. And Rome said, ha ha, we have a massive army. You're dead. Because, that's what powerful entities do to things that annoy them. Well, the